Yeah, hi, I'm Tim Moody. I'm President and CEO of Pan Global Resources. We're a copper exploration company. We have an advanced new copper discovery in southern Spain in the Iberian Pirate Belt. That's going to grow, but we're also now focused on the many other targets in our property package. And watch this space because we've got some really exciting targets.
Yeah, you have. We're going to hear all about them, hopefully. Well, you're here in London. Mine's the money on at the moment. Bit of a kind of industry show. So I guess you're meeting a few of the great and the good in the space. But what else have you come here to achieve?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, there's three of us from our team at the show. Yeah. We've all been busy. It's good having three of us because I think we wouldn't have been able to cope otherwise with the interest. Right. Yes, there's some service companies around, but we've got investor interest, and that's what really is driving us. We haven't really been telling our story much in Europe. Most of our investors have been North America based. London Mines and Money is one of those, I think, important opportunities to tell our message to potentially new investors, but also update some of the existing investors.
Especially with Spanish assets.
That's right. We should be talking at these sorts of events and getting us better known, given the proximity.
Are you finding an easier conversation? Because again, we have that kind of North America, European divide thing going on. I think North Americans like South America. Yeah. Europeans don't seem to mind Africa or European investments, but never the twain shall meet. That's changing now.
Yeah, well, I think what I find is that people in Europe understand that Spain's a mining country, whereas I think 2 or 3 years ago, when I was first talking to people in North America and elsewhere, that you had to explain that actually Spain has a mining industry. And actually, when it comes to things like copper or VMS deposits, it's from VMS deposit, this is the place to be. So,
you come in, sort a few things out, get a few things going.
Yeah.
So last press release, talking about you're now drilling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, maybe start with the money side of things. Money's always really important. So how are you for cash?
Yeah, so we've got a bit over 11 million at the moment. The latest financial statements will show that. I expect going into 2023, we'll have somewhere between 8 and 9 million in the bank. Right. Great shape for a pretty big year ahead. It's kind of
interesting actually. You kind of got to play the market, yet that you kind of want to advance the project as well. Yeah. So clearly you're drilling, so you are advancing, but you've got to be in control of the pace at which you move because. Yeah. Equities are not matching the commodity prices. There's a bit of a disconnect in North America. I know it's tax loss season, but even so, how do you see things?
Well, it is a balance. We are very conscious of what we're spending and the market we're in. But that said, I'm in a rush to make another discovery, and we've got some really good targets to drive that. So, and the other thing, which is I think gives us an advantage, is that cost of exploration in Spain is so much better than what you would get in, say, the high Andes or remote parts of Canada or somewhere like this. So I think we've got a big advantage in terms of making our money stretch.
Was the existing infrastructure and is it?
Well, our access is all of our team in Spain go home, sleep in their own bed every night. I mean, that's a huge advantage.
But in terms of skill sets, it must be harder.
No, we've got we're in a mining area. Spain has been mining continuously for 3,000 years. There's 7 big mines in the belt operating today. There's international laboratories, all the usual equipment providers. It's an established mining.
It's kind of interesting because there's that kind of contradiction going on, or misconception, you would argue, I'm sure, where people say, well, Europe seems to be broadly needing the commodities they're talking about, but not really proactive in terms of allowing that to happen. So what was again, give us the reality of
the reality is, in fact, there is a draft paper that's been circulated now by the Spanish Mining Administration, where they're looking to make some tweaks to the mining law, recognising Europe's role and the importance of critical metals and what changes may need to be made to the mining industry to make it, let's say, even better.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to, as an investor, kind of work out is what politicians say, what politicians do, don't always marry up.
Yeah.
And the timeframes for some of those things, and when they do marry up, seem to be inordinately long. So I'm trying to work. Are there any components here which concern you? And you've been in the region for a long time as yourself, not just the company. Is there anything that gives you cause for concern?
Actually, I think we're in a really good time for the mining industry in southern Spain, in particular, because the Andalusia is very pro-mining, and that's where these changes are occurring in terms of trying to tweak and make the mining industry more accessible. And I guess the other indication is the amount of activity that's going on in the belt at the moment. I mean, there is a lot of exploration activity, and discoveries are being made. We've got our own program. We've been busy for drilling. We haven't stopped drilling for nearly 2 years now. But there are other companies with multiple drill rigs going on. Another discovery was announced last week with Atalaya Mining, and in terms of those people who are familiar with the area, working in the area, it's booming at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Águilas, slightly different phase from you. They're kind of producing now, but they've been where you were, and they're very pro. Yeah. Well, they're pro working in country for sure. Yeah. Just in terms of the drilling, let's go back and focus on that a little bit. Okay, 2 years at it. Yeah. What do you now know? What information are you taking forward in terms of saying, well, here's where we map out next year, 2023, which should be a good year?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we drilled our first holes in the Iberian Pirate Belt on our first target, La Romana, at the end of 2019. We've now drilled 139 holes in that target. First, as I tell people, our first holes in our first target were discovery holes. We've drilled 139 holes, and we've hit nearly every one of those holes. So we're now focusing on the new targets. Right. La Romana is going to continue to grow. We're waiting for some access to the west where we think it's going to expand materially. All the indications are there. But it's the new targets, the suite of really sort of big things that have really got the team on the ground, my team really excited, and I think is what is really attracting investor interest at the moment.
But that's the thing. The geos get super excited. Yeah. They want to be out there drilling, looking at the data. That's what turns them on. Yeah. I'm going to think like an investor and say, right, I want to understand how we can progress the economics and the valuation of the company, right? So La Romana, obviously, it's there. Yeah. How long are the assays taking?
Things are starting to improve. They were 6 to 8 weeks, and perhaps they're just improving a little bit from that now.
Well, compared to Canada,
it's a lot better.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, but how do you move that project forward whilst at the same time obviously giving investors what they want with the kind of blue sky component of this improved targeting and this continued drilling, etc.? Because that's the bit that's going to put the first flag in the sand in terms of valuation, right?
That's right. Well, it's La Romana sort of underpinning our value. We've got something there. People can see it. It's still going to grow. But yes, how do we add value to that? Well, we're at the moment working on the access so we can expand the near surface mineralisation to the west in particular. There's some old Roman mine workings. We know the mineralisation is going to continue that way. There's a big geophysics target out that direction. It could really expand quite a bit. So that's one area. As soon as we've got that access, hopefully we'll see something happen before the end of the year, more likely sometime early in the new year.
Right. And so remind people the depths that you're going to there?
Well, that's... Our average hole depth is about 200 metres there.
So really shallow stuff.
Shallow stuff. I mean,
our deepest... Open?
It's still open at depth.
Okay.
But we've been focused really on that near surface. Can we expand it? That's where we get the best bang for our buck.
Absolutely.
The other area where we're trying to add value for La Romana is to do the cost study, start to understand the economics, what sort of cut-offs we can use. We've got some metallurgical test work underway, something that's a bit more definitive than the early test we did, starting to see how we can drive the copper recoveries, what sort of tin recovery we can get. Those sort of things are really valuable in these early days to try and work out, well, what sort of cut-offs might we apply. Then we can start to look at what sort of economic thresholds we need to work with going forward.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of pushing you to try and understand the economic side of things. There's a kind of environment at the moment where economic studies are something to be feared by CEOs, it seems, because again, the markets are quite unforgiving at the moment, right? So you can put out a great economic study and the market could just shrug its shoulders and go, so what? You kind of like, I get the feedback I've heard from CEOs like, just wasted our time, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, look, I think...
so again, timing's important.
Yeah, I think this is what I like. Hopefully we're going into a period where copper prices could really move.
Yeah.
And in fact, my thesis, and it's not only my thesis, is that for the copper industry to react to this growing demand that seems to be emerging for electrification and the energy transition, there has to be a change in the copper price to incentivise further capital spend, further developments and so on. That's going to be very good for a company like Pan Global with something near surface in a location surrounded by mines in Europe where we could feed into an industry.
I agree with that because, like I say, I think precious metal investors have been extremely concerned about the lacklustre performance of gold for the last 18 months. But there's not that utility there driving that. That's just underpinning currencies or whatever you believe gold to be able to do. With the utility that copper brings and all the associated battery metals brings, you would have expected the prices continue to rise. I think copper's had a bit of a reset, but is looking perked up again recently. But you expect the equities to play catch up there. But not all will, because not all companies will get into production. So what gives you the sense of belief that this is something that will one day produce? Yeah, well, we've got high grades near surface in an area with excellent infrastructure. There's so many things that at the moment seem to be falling into place for us. Geometry looks great. Yeah. The grade distribution looks very favourable with some of the best grades nearest to surface. We've got some thickness as well. Add to that, the early metallurgical work is suggesting we've got a lot of favourable elements relative to some of the other mines in the belt. Yeah. Virtually no deleterious minerals. It's low in pyrite. Grind size, it looks like we may be able to get away with a coarser grind size than the other operating mines in the belt. Just those three things alone are worth money to us. It means we can produce a high grade, high quality concentrate, low in pyrite, low in deleterious minerals. That's all going to help with the cut-off grades. And given the location, I think we're on a winner here. So that's where I'm coming. I'm not so worried about that. I'm worried about how big is it going to be. And investors, I think, are sort of also think, well, where's the next discovery going to come from? And I think that's an exciting. That's the bonus now. That's where we really, if we make another discovery on one of these other targets, I think that will really set a cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. Tim, good to see you. Yeah. Good update. Best of luck. Look forward to following you next year, seeing how you get on. We need all the copper we can get. I'm doing my best.